Hydration also plays a bigger role than most people realize. Dehydration can raise blood sugar levels and increase fatigue. Water should be your main drink. Sugary drinks, even fruit juices, can spike blood sugar very quickly. If plain water feels boring, try adding lemon, cucumber, or herbal teas without sugar. Another major factor after 35 is timing. Eating very late at night often leads to higher morning blood sugar. The body becomes more insulin resistant at night, so finishing dinner a few hours before sleep can improve control. You don't need perfection, just awareness. Stress and sleep also directly affect blood sugar. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which raises glucose. Poor sleep increases insulin resistance. No diet plan works well without addressing these. Even small changes like consistent sleep times, short walks, and deep breathing can support your diet efforts. I want to pause here for a moment and say this clearly. If you are watching this and thinking, this feels manageable, that is exactly the point. Sustainable habits beat extreme plans every time. And this is the kind of guidance we focus on here at Diabetes Health Network, where the goal is not perfection, but progress you can actually maintain. As we move forward, remember that your body is not broken. It is responding to years of patterns, and patterns can change. Food is information for your body, and every balanced meal is a signal of care, not restriction. We will continue building this diet plan step by step, including how to plan meals, handle cravings, eat out without fear, and stay consistent even when motivation drops, because that's real life. If this information is already helping you, let me know by staying engaged with the video. And later, I'll ask you to share your thoughts and experiences, because your comments help others feel less alone. And now, let's go deeper, because understanding the why behind food choices is what turns short-term effort into long-term success. When you are over 35, your metabolism is different from what it was in your 20s. Muscle mass slowly decreases, hormones shift, and insulin sensitivity is not as strong. This is not a failure, it is biology. A smart diet plan works with these changes instead of fighting them. That is why balance matters more now than ever before. One thing many people struggle with is portion size. Not because they want to overdo, but because they were never taught what a balanced plate actually looks like. A simple way to imagine your main meals is this. Half of your plate should be filled with non-starchy vegetables. 1/4 should be a protein source. The last quarter can be carbohydrates, preferably whole and minimally processed. Add a small amount of healthy fat for taste and satisfaction. This approach naturally controls blood sugar without counting every calorie or gram. Let's talk about vegetables again, because they truly are the foundation of a diabetes-friendly diet. Vegetables are powerful not because they are low in calories, but because they are high in fiber. Fiber slows down digestion, reduces blood sugar spikes, supports gut health, and improves insulin sensitivity. Many adults over 35 eat far less fiber than their body needs. By simply increasing vegetable intake, many people see improvements in blood sugar within weeks. Fruit is another area where fear often shows up. Fruit contains natural sugar, yes, but it also contains fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients. The key is choosing whole fruits instead of juices and paying attention to portions. Berries, apples, pears, and citrus fruits tend to have a gentler effect on blood sugar compared to tropical fruits. Pairing fruit with protein or fat, like yogurt or nuts, makes it even better for glucose control. Now let's address cravings, because no diet plan is realistic if it ignores them. Cravings are not a sign of weakness. They are often a signal. Sometimes the signal is hunger, sometimes stress, sometimes habit, and sometimes emotional comfort. When blood sugar swings up and down, cravings become stronger. By eating balanced meals regularly, many cravings naturally reduce. When cravings do appear, pausing and asking yourself what you truly need can change everything. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's rest. Sometimes it's comfort or connection. Sugar cravings are especially common in type 2 diabetes, and completely banning sweets often backfires. A more realistic approach is planning small, intentional treats and pairing them with meals instead of eating them alone. This reduces spikes and prevents the feeling of deprivation that leads to overeating later. Eating out is another challenge many adults face. Social life, family gatherings, and busy schedules often involve restaurants. The good news is that you do not need to avoid eating out to manage diabetes. The same principles apply. Look for protein-based dishes, choose vegetables when possible, and watch portions of refined carbs. Asking for sauces on the side, choosing grilled instead of fried, and drinking water instead of sugary drinks can make a big difference without drawing attention. Meal planning can sound overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Planning just a few core meals each week reduces stress and decision fatigue. Having simple staples like eggs, frozen vegetables, lean protein, and healthy snacks available makes better choices easier. Consistency matters more than variety. You don't need new recipes every day. You need meals that work for your lifestyle. Another important piece of the puzzle is movement. While this video focuses on diet, it's impossible to ignore how movement supports blood sugar control. Even light activity, like walking after meals, helps glucose move into cells without requiring as much insulin. You don't need intense workouts to see benefits. Regular, gentle movement is often more sustainable and effective, especially after medication and diet also work together. Some people feel discouraged when they need medication for diabetes, but medication is not a failure. It is a tool. A good diet plan can improve how well medications work and, in some cases, reduce the need for higher doses. Always follow your healthcare provider's advice. But remember that food choices still matter greatly. One thing we emphasize often at Diabetes Health Network is patience. Blood sugar control is not about perfection today. It is about trends over time. A single high rating does not erase progress. Stressing over numbers often raises them even more. Learning patterns, not judging yourself, leads to better outcomes. As you continue this journey, it's important to notice how food makes you feel, not just what the numbers say. Energy levels, digestion, mood, and sleep all give valuable feedback. When people eat in a way that supports stable blood sugar, they often notice fewer energy crashes, clearer thinking, and better sleep within weeks. Let's also talk about emotional eating, because it's real and common. Food has always been part of comfort and celebration. Instead of trying to remove emotion from eating, it's healthier to expand your sources of comfort. Gentle routines, supportive conversations, relaxing activities, and self-care reduce the pressure placed on food. Another area that deserves attention is consistency during weekends and holidays. Many people eat well during the week and then lose control on weekends. This cycle keeps blood sugar unstable. A flexible mindset works better. Enjoy special meals mindfully, balance them with protein and vegetables, and return to routine without guilt. Guilt does not improve blood sugar. Consistency does. If you've been listening carefully, you may realize that this diet plan is not extreme, restrictive, or complicated. That is intentional. Sustainable health comes from habits you can repeat on your worst days, not just your best ones. As we move closer to the end of this video, I want to remind you that you are not alone in this. Millions of adults over 35 are learning how to live well with type 2 diabetes, and community makes a difference. That's why your voice matters here. If you've found value in this discussion, take a moment now to think about one small change you can make today. Just one. Maybe it's adding more vegetables to dinner, choosing a protein-rich breakfast, or drinking more water. Small steps done consistently create powerful results. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. What is the hardest part of managing your diet with type 2 diabetes right now? Is it cravings time, motivation, or confusion about what to eat? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could help someone else feel understood and supported. And if you know someone over 35 who is struggling with type 2 diabetes, please share this video with them. Information shared with care can truly change lives. Thank you for spending this time with me, for supporting Diabetes Health Network, and for choosing to invest in your health today. Now let's clear up a few common myths that keep people stuck for years. One of the biggest myths is that managing type 2 diabetes after 35 means you must eat special food, expensive food, imported food, bland food. That is simply not true. A diabetes-friendly diet is not about luxury. It's about simplicity. The foods that support stable blood sugar are often the same foods our bodies recognized long before processed food became normal. Real food, familiar food, food that nourishes instead of Another myth is that if your blood sugar improves, you must keep doing everything perfectly forever. That belief creates fear and burnout. Real life does not work that way. There will be busy weeks, family events, stress, celebrations, and tired days. A smart diet plan allows flexibility without losing control. Progress comes from returning to balance, not from never slipping. Let's also talk about reading food labels. Because after 35, this becomes an important skill. You don't need to analyze every number, but learning to notice added sugars, refined flours, and portion sizes can protect your blood sugar without Foods marketed as healthy are not always diabetes-friendly. Yogurts, sauces, cereals, and snacks often contain hidden sugars. The simpler the ingredient list, the better. Now I want to address something emotional, because it matters more than most people admit. Many adults living with type 2 diabetes carry quiet guilt. Guilt about past choices, guilt about family history, guilt about not doing enough. That guilt does not improve blood sugar. It increases stress, which actually makes diabetes harder to manage. Let this sink in. You can care deeply about your health without blaming yourself. Self-compassion is not weakness. It is a powerful health tool. After 35, your body needs kindness as much as discipline. Let's talk about consistency again, but in a realistic way. Consistency does not mean eating the same meal every day forever. It means keeping your core habits stable, eating regularly, including protein, prioritizing vegetables, staying hydrated, moving your body gently. These habits create a stable foundation. On top of that foundation, life can happen. If you ever feel overwhelmed, bring your focus back to the basics. One balanced meal at a time. One walk. One good night of sleep. Diabetes management happens in moments, not in perfection. Another important topic is support. Trying to manage diabetes alone is exhausting. Whether it's family, friends, or an online community, having people who understand your journey makes a huge difference. That's why channels like Diabetes Health Network exist, not to scare you, but to remind you that you're not navigating this alone. Let's also briefly talk about motivation, because motivation comes and goes. Waiting to feel motivated is a trap. Habits carry you when motivation disappears. That's why small, repeatable routines matter more than bursts of inspiration. You don't need to feel excited to eat a balanced meal. You need systems that make it easier. Over time, something powerful happens. As blood sugar becomes more stable, energy improves. Cravings soften, mood steadies, sleep improves. And when you feel better, taking care of yourself becomes easier. This is not willpower. This is biology responding to balance. I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now. Not perfect, not cured, but more confident, more informed, less afraid of food, more in control of your choices. That future is built from the decisions you make today. Not all of them, just the next one. Before we close, let me leave you with this reminder. Type 2 diabetes after 35 is not the end of enjoyment, comfort, or freedom. It is an invitation to understand your body more deeply. When you learn how food truly works with your blood sugar, eating becomes empowering instead of stressful. If you're still watching, thank you. That tells me you care about your health, and that matters. If this video helped you even a little, please support the channel by liking and subscribing. It helps us reach people who are still confused, scared, or overwhelmed. And now, I want to hear from you. What is one habit you are willing to focus on this week? Not 10, not 5, just 1. Tell me in the comments. I read them, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thank you for trusting Diabetes Health Network, for showing up for yourself, and for choosing progress over perfection. We'll continue this journey together, step by step, calmly and realistically.